Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source. Great baseball night last night. We went 4-2 in the ticket. Both parlays cashed. Bet of the day cashed for a plus 132 underdog. Life is good, but baseball needs to take a backseat for a minute because it is now NBA playoff time. Well, it's NBA play-in time, I should say. But these games have been great every year. So let's dive in and bet them.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. Hey, get the Source.
First up, Hawks on the road in Miami. This line opens up Miami -5, and we're still looking at Miami -5. Public's pretty split even on this one. Sharp action, slightly leaning towards Atlanta, but honestly, for the most part, it looks like the books did a pretty good job with this line here at 5. So let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Atlanta plus 1.4, but the way the NBA season ends every year, my model is weighted heavily for the last 5 and the last 10 games, and there's so many teams that have just mailed it in, so I think we're just going to throw the model out for this one. So let's start by looking at the matchup history. These teams met 4 times this season. Miami took the series 3-1. Only 2 of those matchups were recent. They were in early March. These teams had a back-to-back in both games in Miami. Heat took both of them, 117-109 and 130-128. So if we're looking at Miami -5, they split 1-1. As far as injuries go, the Atlanta Hawks are at full strength here. Miami's got a couple names on there, Max Strus and Kyle Lowry, but Strus is listed as probable, so he's most likely going to play. Kyle Lowry being the only injury question mark in this game. So let's take a look at some analytics here, and I should start by saying for this video, I'm going to be using numbers from the All-Star break to March 31st. I know these 2 teams in April were playing meaningful games, but not all of their opponents were. So I'm tossing all the numbers out for April. We're going February 18th to March 31st. So let's start with the Atlanta offense, and goddamn, this team has no outside shooting. Since the All-Star break, 30th in the NBA in three-point frequency. Nobody takes fewer three-point shots than the Atlanta Hawks. This offense does all their damage from mid-range and on the interior. The weird part is that's actually a shitty mismatch for this Heat defense. The perimeter's been the only area where Miami's been somewhat decent. Look at their numbers since the All-Star break on the inside. 30th against the mid-range shot, 26th protecting the basket. The point I'm trying to make here is I think this Heat defense is fraudulent. I think the Hawks are going to score points in this matchup. Really like the mismatch for the Hawks offense. If you're looking for a leg to add to a same game parlay or just looking for a prop to bet, I would look at Okongwu over 7.5 points. 72% of his shot attempts come at the rim. That's the highest rate on the team, and I expect the Hawks to attack the rim a lot. Anyway, back to the matchup. I got some good news for the Heat fans. So yeah, your defense is trash and the Hawks should exploit it. But want to know who else have serious question marks on the defensive side? The Atlanta Hawks. Now let's give the Hawks a little bit of credit. Since the All-Star break, they're actually 14th protecting the basket. Capella's done a pretty solid job. The problem with that is Miami doesn't attack the basket. Look at their shot frequency. Miami is 26th in shot frequency at the rim, 8th in mid-range frequency, 10th in three-point frequency. The Heat aren't even trying to take it in on Capella. They're trying to get Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and Bam Adebayo into space and create open looks for their outside shooters. Let's look at the rest of the Hawks' defensive numbers. We mentioned they're 14th protecting the basket since the All-Star break, but look at this, 27th against the mid-range shot, 26th against the three-point shot. Yeah, Hawks defense might be in trouble. So what I just said about the Heat defense, we can say the exact same thing about the Hawks defense. I don't know how they make stops here. If you're looking for an SGP leg or a prop bet to make, I would look at Gabe Vincent over 1.5 3-pointers made, or maybe Kevin Love over 1.5 3-pointers made. Also, I feel like you can never really go wrong betting Jimmy Butler's over PRAs in the playoffs. He just takes his game to another level in the playoffs. The problem is the books adjust for that. His number's pretty high. So what are we going to bet here? Well, for starters, I like both of these offenses against both of these defenses. I like both offensive matchups, so I'm definitely going to play the over. As far as picking a side, I feel like if they played this game 100 times, that Atlanta would win 45 of them. So at this number at 5, I feel like the smarter side is to take the points, so I'm going to do it. The SGP I'm going to be playing for this game, I'm going over 226.5. Gabe Vincent, 8+ points. Kevin Love, 8+ points. Okongwu, 8+ points. On DraftKings, that pays plus 575. So let's head over to OddsJam and grab the best value for our bets here. First up, Hawks +5. Looks like we can get +5.5 on BetMGM at -115. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that one in. Next up, let's scroll down to the over. It looks like our best bet here is going to be over 227.5 at -109 on Barstool. So let's go ahead and lock that one in. All right, for some prop bets, if you're telling me on these prop bets, first up, Okongwu over 7.5 points, -110 on DraftKings, BetMGM, or Fox Bet. So lock one of those in. Gabe Vincent over 1.5 3-pointers made, -120 on Bet365. Kevin Love over 1.5 3-pointers made, +135 on Bet365 or DraftKings. If anything changes with any of these bets, any crazy injury updates, anything like that, I will let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the final ticket, which has every single bet I'm making, how much I'm making on it, parlay of the day, that kind of stuff, head over to KyleKirms.com. All right, let's go Hawks. Let's go over. Pumped to watch these games. Remember to bet responsibly because the NBA playoffs can be really unpredictable, but let's have some fun.